Welcome everybody. It's Find You Fridays with Lorraine here. That would be me from Crafting Possibilities. How has your day, your week been, my friends? I'm going full on purple today just for something fun to do. So let's jump on over, do a little bit of sharing, do a little bit of the old doots that you got to do. All right, let me just jump in. I tell you what, Facebook has not made things as easy anymore, has it? Seriously, people. Hey, Lisa. Lovely to see you, honey bun. All right, let's chuck that one up there. And let's expand it out so that I can actually chuck that one up. Pin that. There we go. Unhiding, huh? Unhiding. I like it. I like it a lot. All right. I think that is everything I require. Hello, Melinda. Melinda, you are incredible. She has already put in a donation for an extended reading because she is super onto it. So let me just drop that one across the bottom so people can know. Hi, Brooke. Hi, Brooke. Wow. Excellento. Just checking out my transactions over on PayPal, and I see the beautiful Brooke has also put through a reading. So he hasn't put any messages in there. That's okay. Brooke, is yours a personal reading, or is that a pay it forward reading, just so that I'm aware of where you're at? Okay. Yeah, your week's been okay. Well, that's fair enough. Absolutely fair enough. All right. So just while we're getting all warmed up, no, not those cards for this first reading. Yeah, these ones. Aw, thank you, sweet pea. Do I turn it back on you and go, oh, what? Are you scared? What are you frightened of? I'm sure you're not. Let's see, what shall we do? Ah, that bloody email is just rolling around my head now. Okay. So what we're going to do is I had a little email pop through. I had a little email pop through today. So I'm just going to do a bit of a general reading first. But this was an email that was talking about the possibility of having severe lockdowns, and Ricardo Bossi is apparently spouting this around. And I'm just like going, instinct tells me no. And instinct also tells me a little bit of he's working some sort of side. So let's have a look and see. Oh, interesting. Yes, these cards. All right. So let's ask the cards now to see if what Ricardo Bossi is talking about. So is this very relevant for us here in Aussie? If that is actually relevant for us. I guess it all comes down to a matter of perspective, right? All right. All right. So the very first card. So this is a card to talk about here in Australia. Ricardo Bossi is apparently out spouting that there's going to be another round of severe lockdowns and blah, da, 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 da coming up. And funnily enough, I actually saw something similar popping up on Russell Brand. I haven't actually watched the video yet, but I did see something popping up in his little graphic there of like, stay home, don't go out, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, are you for real? So the first card that's popped out is actually courage. And this card here actually says, be courageous and stand up for your beliefs. So even if it does start popping up, this card is saying, stand up for yourself. Don't let them push you around anymore. Allow yourself to be seen and heard, and don't bow down anymore. Enough's enough. You know, there's more of us than there are of them. And so it's time to have a bit more courage, my friends. The next card that came up was counselor. So even if you're feeling a bit like, I don't know. Hi, Jocelyn. Take courage and reach out to other like-minded people so that you can speak with each other and lift each other's spirits. Okay, that's what being a counselor is all about. It's about empowerment. It's about encouraging you to find your own solutions. It's about allowing yourself to really truly be in your heart space instead of trying to cram yourself up with everybody else's thoughts, feelings, and emotions. So they're saying this, the counselor side of things there. The next card that we've got here is sensitivity. So be very, very aware if you do start finding yourself going down into that rabbit hole of, oh my God, all of this is happening. And ask yourself, truth, is this actually mine? And if it is heavy, if that makes you feel heavy inside yourself, just say, oh, okay, I return that all to senders with consciousness attached. Our sensitivity levels at the moment are sky high, all right? So when you're surrounded by people or even just in your community with people who are diving into this fear stuff and talking about blah, 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 you know, the stuff that's coming out of the authorities, just be aware that that's quite often not yours. Okay, so just return it all to centers with consciousness attached. Next, we have clairvoyance. So that's right alongside of sensitivity, okay? So along with this one, it's actually talking about, it's helping your spiritual side awaken so you can clearly see heavenly love. That's what the card says at the bottom, all right? So along with that, reach out to your spirit team. All right, because your spirit team is all around you every single day, even if you think that they aren't. They are. It's just whether you're actually willing to receive them or not. And so within that, sorry, there was another thought that just went through there. And it's like, no, not relevant right now. Okay, so what I'm getting with this one is just allow your spirit team, allow yourself to hear your spirit team, allow yourself to be with your spirit team at this time. And of course, if we're hearing it from Russell Brand, we're hearing it from Ricardo Bossi, it's obviously not just here in Australia that this sort of shit is coming up. So wherever you are in the world, be aware that that there is greater support, heavenly support, and that you'll also be awakening even greater to all of the shenanigans going on out there. The last card for this general reading is gentleness. Okay, so the gentleness of this time, with all of these energies being stirred up all over again, please be aware that your body might require a little rest. So please be gentle. Be gentle with yourself. Be gentle with others. Hi, Amanda. Thank you. Aww, that's such a sweet bee. Aww, thank you, honey bun. So yeah, be very, very gentle with yourself right now and over the next little bit and maybe the next week or two while all of these energies are being stirred up, because quite often we'll take out on our closest and our loved ones our over excess of energy. All right. It's kind of like I was watching some friends of mine getting ready to go away on a trip this week. And obviously they're really excited to be going away on a trip. They haven't really been able to do anything for quite a while. They've had a lot of sickness and things that they've been dealing with in the last few months. So this was the first time they've been away on a big trip together. And there was a lot of excitement and a lot of energy being stirred up, which is wonderful for them. But as part of that, instead of just being excited and allowing that to drive them, they started like picking at each other and bickering with each other, even though they're actually excited. So just remember that fear and excitement can feel very similar. Okay, so just be aware that it's actually this time now is actually an incredibly exciting time. I'm excited, and I know that many of my friends are also very excited because there are so many of you that are waking up right now and requiring this good old counselor, that are waking up and grabbing that courage that you've always had within you, but now it's really coming out and growing. And so as a result, there are way more of us that are spiritually aware now, and our sensitivities are much higher than what there ever has been before. It's like these shutters are all coming off people's eyeballs and their awareness spheres, and they're finally understanding so much deeper as to all the stuff that's going on, whether it be on a political stance, a social stance, whether it be within their friends or family circles, business, everything is just like having all the layers, all the smokes and mirrors are all being ripped away right now, and it is really, really, really exciting. So there we go, my friends. Be aware out there, and just be very gentle. Be very gentle. Use those tools. If you're aware that some energies are coming up, some thoughts are coming up, you might be feeling a little bit down, a little bit depressed, a little bit anxious, just stop and breathe and ask, truth, does this actually belong to me? And if you ask it like that, does it belong to me? And it goes heavy, it's not yours, honey. Let it go. Let it go, let it go, let it go. So yes, that is the general reading for today. Alrighty, let me have a look. Oh, I just love you guys. I just love you guys. Look at that. Yes. And always put a truth on the front of it, because if you don't put truth at the start, your refined judgments will go, well, yes, of course it's mine. And you'll try to make it yours. And then you will just end up in this bit of a spiral, which is a bit silly. All right, Melinda, my darling, you put through a little bit of a generous, I should say, a beautiful, generous prepayment before the show even began, because she's that serious about getting her extended reading today. So Melinda, my darling, pop back up and say that you're here, so then I know. Okay. Hey, gorgeous. Apparently you want to play with my tricky to shuffle tarot cards. The animal tarot has come out for you, sweet pea. My tricky to shuffle, because there's just so many of them. So to give you all, if you haven't seen it, I did this last week. So to give you an idea, this is my normal deck of sort of thickness of my deck of cards. This is actually my very first deck. It's got gold edging. Isn't that so beautiful? This is the Animal Tarot. It's a bit of a difference. So it's a bit tricky. Hi, Kathy. Lovely to see you, honey. How are you going, Kathy? It's been a long time since we've chatted. No, you don't need my login address, honey. You just go do the PayPal me. I'm guessing that's what you're trying to do. So you just grab that little link that's in the show notes and it's pinned to the top of the comments. And you should be able to just go pick. Just don't try to send me a bill. I know. It's a huge dick. Aw, thank you, Kathy. Yeah. So she's a tricky dick. And I know all of you Aussies right now are just cracking up laughing. I think if you were trying to send me a bill, you might need my email address or something. I don't know. Okay. If it is, honey. Okay. Let me focus on Melinda for a moment. So Melinda, if I remember correctly, you wish to have something for the next week, given that you're starting your new job. Okay. Ugh. It's like a good hand workout doing that one. Okay. Got lots of messages coming through, so this is good stuff. And sorry to hear that, Kathy, that you've had a little bit of gallbladder issues. Hope everything is progressing well for you. Okay. Let's have a look-see. Okay. So first of all, honey, we've got the 7 of Spring. Okay, and this one here is saying it's got the gecko. So if I bring it up a little bit closer, you'll be able to see him. Isn't that just so pretty? He's so cute. Mind you, I do love reptiles, so. All right, so the gecko is be assertive, believe in yourself, and don't let anyone else take away your personal power. Trust that your inner guidance is true and follow it completely. So essentially, allow yourself to be all of you, no matter what, okay? Believe in you, believe in your, and know that you can do this. Because you'll see this is actually something that's going to run through your entire reading. Okay, I've just done a quick scan across all of them. And this is the very first card here is basically the theme of the whole thing of have loads of confidence, walk in there and be assertive. Don't allow yourself to sort of shy away or be wrapped up in other people's trauma dramas. Just be you, okay? The next one we've got here is the gazelle. Here we go. She's so pretty. Okay, she's full of life. Yeah. So we've got, you've worked hard and what you've created is impressive and worthy of protecting, and that annoying challenges may pop up, but don't worry, you'll get through them just as you have in the past. So again, whenever we're starting a new job, it is going to be very, very challenging to start off with. We've got lots of new things to learn and new procedures, and all of that can be quite overwhelming in that first week. So just be okay with that. Be okay with the process, but also know that you've worked hard to get to where you are. You've been through some really interesting situations lately that has propelled you forward to be able to take on this job with full gazelle-like splendor. Okay. The next card we've got is the Gypsy Vanna horse. Okay, so isn't that gorgeous? And the thing that really stands out for me on this one is all of this abundance, which is sitting right at the front here, like in a cornucopia of abundance. Okay, so with this one, it's got everything is going to turn out great. All right, projects will be stunningly successful, exciting new career opportunities are possible, and money or resources that come your way will be invested wisely. So you're going to have a great week. All right, even though it's going to be a little bit challenging, you're going to have an absolutely splendid week, and you're going to feel a lot more happy. Like when I look at this dude, he just looks like he's splendidly, just trotting. I've got this, through the paddocks and stuff. He just looks very, very happy with himself. I say he. It could be a she. It is a he. It's the king of autumn. I didn't even look at the top and I just knew. Next one we've got is king of winter, which is intelligent, impartial, respected, and unemotional, which is the humpback whale. So he's sort of commanding authority in a lot of ways, hey? All right. So what we've got here is, at this time, it's very important that you communicate clearly. Be objective and unemotional and act as professionally as possible. If you need advice, seek out the most experienced expert you can find. Okay, so again, this is relating to you learning all of this new stuff. And don't just try to fumble your way through. If you really don't know, ask. All right, there's no harm in asking for help. And just be very clear and concise with your requests, and you'll be able to get through. You'll be able to swim through everything really smoothly. But now's the time to really practice speaking up for yourself, holding your own space, being firm, and being confident in what you're communicating and how you're moving through. Okay, so we've got the 10 of winter, okay, which is our Siberian Husky dog. He just looks so happy. You kind of wonder, has he just peed on that fire hydrant? That's the first thought that goes through my head. Did you just pee on there and that's why you are happy? So the end of a career path, project, or relationship brings feelings of mixed joy and sadness, relief and disappointment. Put aside these fears about these changes and trust that a brighter future awaits. So, of course, you've been through a little bit of downtime, which is awesome. And I know that there's been some other changes happening in your world as well. So this is all good stuff, honey. This is really good stuff, and just have fun with it. Like this little Siberian Husky dog, he's happy. He's taken his own lead, if you like. He's taken his own lead. He's taken himself for a walk because he's in charge. He's large and he's in charge of himself. But he's also, happy. He's got his tail up. He's ready to go. All right. So enjoy this next week. Enjoy the time that you've got coming forward. And you'll be rocking it, hun. I'm really seeing that you're just going to have just the best time in your new job. The next card we've got for you, hun, is in amongst all of that please take time to nourish your body and soul. Okay? This is really, really super important. So when you come home at night, make sure that you've got things planned and in place for every single day that you're working, where you take time just to nourish your body and mind. Okay, so whether it be you do make sure you do like some meditation, whether you like take a nice long shower, whether you make sure over the weekend you've got some meals prepared so you don't have to think about cooking. Just little things like that will really, really help with this first week at your new job. Okay, if you do that, you're going to just attract success the whole way through. You're attracting a lot of success into your world right now. And that's really, really super duper duper exciting. I love it. Also, just having a look at this lovely scarlet colored card, tap into your feminine energy. Okay, so really allow yourself to dive into your feminine energy a lot this week coming up, because that's what's going to help you. I know you're going into a job where you're needing to maybe have a little bit more of your masculine floating around, but bring it back to your feminine and really allow yourself to be in that space of like coming back to that nurturing. This is to do with that too, okay? Next, we have Lilac, which is about strengthening your faith. Okay, well, it almost matches my lips today. So with the lilac and the strengthening of your faith, remember your spirit team. Talk with your spirit team. Even on your drive to work, have a little chat and say, hey, can you help me today? Can you help me, to learn my new job with absolute ease? Can you help me to find the things I require to find in my job with absolute ease? Keep the faith up. Keep communicating with your spirit team, because you know their value and you know how much they help you in your everyday life. All right. This is great. Man, you're going to have an awesome week. Might be challenging, a little bit challenging. I'm not saying it's not, because that's what that lovely gazelle was talking about. There might be a few annoying challenges, but just stick with it. You'll be all right. One yummy card for Melinda, please. This is an interesting one. We've got forgiveness, honey. So I would say this is asking them, what is this one about? They just said go easy on yourself. You don't have to have it all learned in one day. Oh, they're funny. So yes, forgive yourself for the learning process. It's okay. You don't have to have it all learned down in even 2 days. And if you do, that's awesome. But otherwise, just go easy on yourself, okay? Thank you for putting through a very generous amount and for being onto it even before anybody else had put anything through. I'm super grateful for you, Melinda, and I hope that helps. I do love it when this deck comes out, but gosh, she's a big dick. All right. Apparently, I'm still not a robot, so that's lovely. Oh my goodness gracious me. Okay. PayPal. Seriously. Love you, PayPal. Alrighty. Brooke, stop! Are you still in the house? All right. So, question. Would you like me to do a reading for you, or have you decided that you wish to have it paid forward? Wow, I wonder what that looks like. Picture in picture. Oh, that cup of tea is so good. Superfruits from New Zealand. It's a Healtheries one. Had it for a long time. Am I doing your reading for you, Brooke? All right. I will give you a reading. It's been a while since I've given you a reading, actually. Been a while. Okay. Alrighty, Mr. Brooke. Brooke. Let's see. You got the word cards, mate. They are the ones that are all full of words. I love it. I like the picture ones too, but the words ones are interesting. You can't get the set anymore. I tried. And I got something similar, but not quite the same. Oh. Brooke, when did you last get your bars from? Oh, mighty tighty. Your form and structure is going absolutely freaking bonkers. Just like your form and structure is going. Not so much the hopes and dreams. I feel that good, but these ones here are just going. So, what I would suggest for you tonight, outside of all of that, is tonight when you go to bed, I would suggest that you sit like this and these two together. So just the form and structure, which is on the edges of your eyebrows, and your joy and sadness bars. When you go to bed tonight or for the next little bit, if you can, just sit like this and just gently run them and just ask for those bars to run. Okay, run to completion. You can just go to bed tonight and ask them to run. So if you were just saying, I would actually get you to do your implant band, your form and structure, and your joy and sadness bars. Those would be the three I'd ask to run overnight and just let them do their thing. Okay? Yeah, running someone else's is all good, but you also require to have yours run too. Okay? Especially at this stage. I'm required to have mine run more often, but I get mine done roughly at least once a month. But when I was first at the stage that you're at with them, I was getting them run at least once a fortnight to once a week. That was me getting mine run. Okay. So anywho, all right. All right. So the first card we've got is, see, this is what I mean by the wordy cards. So I've got recognize your own limits and be mindful that you may need to step back and take stock. Face the possibilities honestly before moving forward. Okay, we got you are here. Okay, it says you're about to meet someone who is sensitive and romantic. They are here to show you how to nurture these qualities within yourself. It's an interesting card to come up out of that one. You have reached an impasse. Do not force the issue, as there is nothing more you can do. Let it go. We've got, now is the time for much pleasure and satisfaction. Be happy and rejoice in the moment. And be generous and open to the generosity of others. Have faith. And the reading that goes across them all is honestly nurture, let it go, rejoice in the moment, and have faith. So I would get that there is some things that you're about to let go of at the moment, and it's okay. They're saying, you know, in the journey that you're on right now, and this is relevant to a lot of people who will be watching this at the moment, there'll be things that'll be coming up that are asking to be released, and they'll come up as battles. They might come up as frictions. They might come up as heaviness, like what we were talking about earlier, you know, in the general reading of, you know, listen to what is true for you, because if it's not true for you, then let it go. Okay, so this is actually very relevant to a lot of people who are now seeing things in their lives and realizing that that doesn't work for them anymore, and that can be really challenging to deal with. And I know there's been many a time I've had to, like, as they say, strap my big girl boots on. All right, and so this is obviously one of those times, but they're also asking for you to, you know, do it with nurturing, be happy and rejoicing of the space that is being created as well. Okay. Okay, let's do a couple more cards, see what else wishes to come out for you. Yes, heart space, HEART, heart space. So you've got some yummy new things. Again, talking about that nurturing with that someone who is sensitive and romantic. And they're here to show you how to nurture these qualities within yourself, okay? Because the next thing we have is watermelon, which says have fun with your inner child. So it's time to have more fun in your world, a lot more fun. And, you know, it's kind of like for a lot of us, we believe that we have to work harder. We have to put in the effort. We have to do a lot. We have to do to be able to receive. No, that's not true. The universe is willing to give to us all the time if we are willing to receive it. We just think we have to do. But life can be a lot more ease if we allow ourselves to have a little bit more fun in our space. The next card we've got is Burgundy, which is awaken your passion. So whatever you've got coming up, whatever you're creating at the moment, make it fun and be passionate. Okay? So whatever it is, that energy of the life that you truly desire, ask more about that. Like, whatever you're choosing to create, ask truth. Does this match the energy of the life that I'm truly desiring? Boom. If it matches, do it. If it doesn't, get rid of it. Okay? So that's the passion and the fun. So this is what the cards are saying. All right, let's have a look at your yummy cards, see what that says. Seriously, I'm totally addicted, my friends. Addicted to the smell of these cards. I'm just so happy they got imprinted with the smells. Passion and fun is what you're after. Okay, and we've got understanding. Okay, so I'm actually not going to talk anything more about that one. I think you'll get the meaning of that without me having to talk anymore. There is, yeah, I get you got it. Thank you. Thank you for putting in a donation. Incredibly grateful for you. How does it get any better? Get your bloody bars run. And remember that form and structure, the joy, the sadness, and your implant band tonight for asking them to run. Okay. Who knew I was going to be doing bars healing advice today too? How does it get any better? Alrighty. Curry and cake. I got gifted slices today. So I have a raspberry brownie slice, some pieces of that. Yum. And I had one that has like I don't know what the cracker is, but it's like a cracker. And then it has like a caramel and then a chocolate in there. Oh, it's yum. Very thin, but it's really, really tasty because the chocolate is like solid chocolate. And the caramel is like almost like a toffee type caramel. And what was the third one? Oh, yeah, the third, there was only a couple of pieces of the third one. It was like an apricot marshmallow type dealio. It was so yum. Those two pieces disappeared very quick. I can tell you that much. Oh, dear. Oh, this cracker slice is absolutely yum. Super lovely. All right. So if I remember correctly, Amanda did a pay it forward. Thank you so much, Amanda. Yes, she did. All right. Oh, my goodness. It was absolutely delicious. Absolutely delicious. All right. So all right, I've got a number in my head. So for the pay it forward reading from Amanda, I would like you to pick a number. Let me just do, yeah, I can do it like this. There we go. Whee! Helps if I can spell between. Okay. All right. You ready? The first person that picks the number that's in my head right now, write it in the comment. And then I'll do a reading, an extended reading. Nope. Keep going. Between 10 and 25, Jocelyn. Nope. Keep going. Keep going. Nope. Keep guessing. Nope. Still not yet. Oh, this is fun. Hey, Brooke. Nope. Still nobody yet. Woohoo! We've got it. There we go. Oh, that was fun. Oh, see, now you've got 1, 2, 3. 3 of you all chose 12, but amazing life strategies. What's your name, honey? Because I don't know who you are. It's so lovely to have you over on my show today. Yeah, see, Brooke, you know. 12. Leanne. Lovely to meet you, Leanne. Thank you for coming over to play. Do you have any question in particular that you would like me to have a look at? Winner, chicken dinner. Or if you're vegan, winner, broccoli dinner. Hi, Mila. How are you, darling? Oh, dear. Okay. Do we want these cards? Yes, apparently we do. Commencing business, eh? Okay. Okay, Leanne. Immediately I'm getting heart stuff. Okay. So when we're going into business, quite often we dive into being in our masculine space, which is more of the thought stuff. So what I'm immediately getting while I'm still shuffling the cards is be back in your heart, back into your feminine. Make sure that you're weaving all of that through, all of your yummy and deliciousness through every single choice that you're making. Okay? Because as you will know and be very aware of, that when we create business, whether you are just doing a business from home or maybe you're creating a shop front or anything like that, there's a lot of decisions that have to be made. So what I would suggest to you is before you have to sit and do any businessy stuff is actually spend some time dropping down into the space, doing maybe a little, maybe 5-minute meditation. Doesn't have to be very long, maybe even just a couple of minutes. Just go deep into your heart space and expand that out, like really expand it out, as big as your room, okay, whatever room you're functioning in, and just really allow that heart space to open way out wide. Okay. And if you'd like to get some of that base energy in there too, like allow some of that to weave through the energies. And that way you'll feel a lot more connected through all the aspects of you, and all of those decisions that you have to make will come with a lot more ease. There's a process that I take people through when I do private sessions about connecting with their business as an entity. And that has created some really fun results for people, including myself. When I first started doing my business, I didn't connect in with it as an entity. And so what happened was I became quite narcissistic with my business. And so I was telling it what to do all the time, and I didn't give it the space to have its own awarenesses. Okay, to be aware of where you'll be doing that. So there's a couple of little tips in there already for you to just allow yourself to be more balanced. Okay, because it almost feels like heart space, hurting here. And to me, that's a sign that you just have to expand that out. It's like, bring it out. So what we've got some interesting, you're going to laugh now because I've only just turned all these cards over. All right. So first of all, we've got the crown chakra card. So this is about paying attention to the ideas that are coming through. All right, the ideas that are coming through from a divine sense. Okay, I don't know if you have a a journal next to your bed. If you don't, get one, because I'm getting that you're gonna, because see the little moon that's up here? I'm getting that's really standing out for me right now. So I'm getting for this one, have a journal right next to your bed so that when you wake up in the morning and you start having, like, there'll be all these ideas that are already flowing, write them down, even if it's like wobbly, wonky writing because you've only just opened your eyes, just start writing down, okay? They're going to be sending you more, all right? So your team is working alongside of you really dynamically right now. Keep tapping in, all right? The next card we've got is Shield Yourself, and this card here is very much around don't allow yourself to get swept up in the way other people do business, okay? Do business your way, and you can have a little listen to how other people do business, even the stuff that I've just said. If it doesn't feel light for you and it doesn't resonate for you, that's fine. Trust yourself, okay? Hi, Holly. Make sure that you don't judge yourself in relation to other people or other people's opinions, okay? Whatever that is, just, if it starts bringing you down, starts making you feel a bit of self-doubt or whatever, just go, truth, does this even belong to me? And if it doesn't, bye-bye. Return it to centers with consciousness attached. Okay? The next card that we've got for you, Lillian, is emotional sensitivity. So I'm not surprised this one's coming up. You'll feel quite emotional going through this process. There was a lovely friend of mine, a very dear friend of mine, who no, honey, you're not too late at all. I've only been here 53 minutes. Not at all. So she said to me, because she actually opened up a storefront for her healing business, and she said to me at the end of her 2 years, she's like, if I knew about all the steps and all the decisions and all the choices that I had to make back when I first thought I might take up a space, I don't know that I would have necessarily done it. But because she was just doing it her way and allowing herself to go with the flow, even though there were moments where she was crying or a bit like tense or anxious, she just allowed herself to move through them. So it's okay. It's okay. That space is okay. And just be nurturing again. Keep that heart really, really nice and open. Now, remember how I was saying to weave some of that base energy through, the base chakra? Well, here we go. Base chakra energy, allow that creativity and the passion to come through your creation, okay? So once again, tapping into that life of the energy of the life that you truly desire, you'll be able to also receive even more, all right? And it'll be so much easier for you, okay? The next one we have here is if you get nervous, focus on service. So this lovely card here is remembering why you're doing what you're doing. Okay, remember your why. Remember in those tough times when things feel like, oh, I don't know why I'm doing this anymore, ask yourself why you started in the first place. All right, and allow that energy to come through and be the tuning fork again for how you're choosing to continue on in your world. All right. The next one is workshops and seminars. So I'm wondering, is part of your business going to be teaching other people how to do things? Because when I tapped into the energy of that just this very second, I was like, so is this about Leanne attending workshops and seminars? It was like, no, that was heavy. So I'm wondering, are you actually going to be teaching other people some of your magic, your amazing life strategies? Because whatever that is, those workshops that you're going to be doing, super, super light. really super fun. And they're saying, yeah, absolutely. Just go for it. Don't doubt yourself. Just keep going. Let's do a couple of Inner Girls cards. Oh, yummy. Emotional and metaphysical kinesiology. Wow. Holy moly. Can you send me a PM, please? Because I would love to feature you on my podcast. That would be really cool to talk about because I don't really know much about metaphysical kinesiology. I'm impressed I even managed to say that word on a Friday night. So yeah, if you'd like to be featured on my podcast on Tuesday night, reach out and just send me a little PM and we'll, with your email address, and I'll send you the stuff. That'll be really super cool. All right. So, creating a balanced life, honey. So the other thing that can happen when we are setting up business or diving into a big project is that we forget to balance everything out. So the cards are just reminding you to create a balanced life, okay? That lovely nurturing again. The next one is attract abundance. Yeah. So you're obviously going to be attracting a lot of abundance with this new venture that you're going into. So cool. I do payroll and HR, so I think I should be on your podcast. Well, you could be. You could be, honey. You'd be surprised, actually. I had a chartered accountant on my show. Well, she used to be one until just recently. And she used to weave her spiritual magic through what she does as a chartered accountant. You wouldn't think that would be possible, but she sure did do it. So, but I love your sense of humor, Jenny. All right. And so it also says improve your vision. Okay. So that's an interesting card to come out with. So again, I would say that's more to do with just keep, it's about, where is it on this one? This card here is about, it's like an extension of this one here, to shield yourself. Okay. So what I mean by that is that just remember your vision and don't get wound up in everybody else's crap. Okay. That's what I get for that one. Okay, Leanne, time for your yummy cards. Leanne's yummy card. That's a great reading though, Leanne. Super exciting. Okay, your yummy card says guidance. Okay. So what I'm getting with that one is to trust your own guidance. All right. Trust your own awareness. Trust your own intuition. And you'll be just fine. You'll be just fine. Make sure, like, if I use light and heavy tools, I use I have various different ways of tuning into what is true for me and what isn't. You know, even just doing those simple sway techniques like the muscle testing stuff and all these different ways of just learning how to trust your own intuition. So freaking important, which I'm sure you already know. So I'm looking forward to chatting with you more. Thank you for an incredible reading. That was super cool. Alrighty. So if you would like an extended reading, and that last reading, of course, was a beautiful donation. They pay it forward from the amazing Amanda. Thank you so much, Amanda, for your generosity of spirit. Very, very grateful for you. Oh, that's good to hear, Jenny. I like to hear that you've slept well. I've had an interesting round of sleeps. Very interesting. So, hide that because we don't need to see that anymore. All right. So I have finally created a happy little graphic. So let me just, before I jump over there, let me see if anybody else has popped through a little donation over into PayPal land. Oh, goodness gracious. Oh, my goodness. Don't tell me. Apparently, I don't know how to do security challenges anymore. Made me do it 3 times. Cool bananas. All right. You ready, my friends? All right. So pick your number between 1 and 88. All right. First number that pops into your head, not your favorite number, your first number. And just the first number and no other number, okay? So Jenny, you've picked 17. That's the number I'm going to be going with, okay? Kathleen, you're the same, 9. Not multiple numbers, my friends. Not multiple numbers. All right. I may have confused you with that whole between 10 and 25 thing. All right. Maybe I should work from the bottom up today. Seeing as you guys have just gone absolutely bonkers that way. All right. Which way do we wish to go today? Okay, let me see. Kathleen or Jenny? 17, 73. Okay. I'm going to ignore those first 3 because I'm getting that they were because I hadn't taken that other banner down. All right. Okay, Jocelyn, 68 for you, dear. What do you think of my little poem thing? I was quite proud of myself for that one. 84. I created that yesterday when I was listening to Brooke's show. So there we go. It's amazing what you can do. All right. So Jocelyn, 68 for you. You get a single sunset. Looking out over silhouetted rooftops at the decreasing pink skies, waiting for the moment when loneliness will disappear into the depleting sunset, to be filled with comfort and enveloping darkness, to be welcomed by the mind-numbing unconsciousness of sleep, but the pink skies return in the hope that as new colours of a new day get brighter, so will this heartache. Jocelyn, I feel for you, hun. It might be time to consider what's around you right now that is creating a lot of heartache, and asking yourself if it's time to let it go. And if it's something like a death in the family or something like that, it's time to get some healing done and give your body a rest. Okay? So just looking at that, it feels like a little bit of depression might be going on with you. So again, get some body work done, get some healing done, get some, maybe even as simple as a massage from a professional, but make it not like a deep tissue or a sports massage or anything like that. Make it a relaxation massage. But if you can, get some body work done, see if you can find a practitioner that deals with grief, because that would be your best bet right now. Okay. Okie dokie. Jenny, gonna do 73 for you, my sweet. Seeing as I confused everybody for a second. Oh dear. Oh, this is funny. All right. Oh, Jenny, you're gonna love this one. Love addict. My love for you is intoxicating. It makes me feel all giddy, but I can feel it's becoming a crutch by which I'm basing my happiness. Like any addiction, I need to hold it away, to reevaluate it, to only sample it, not devour it. Devour the whole lot in one gulp, leaving nothing but an empty memory. So, Jenny, what are you addicted to at the minute? What are you gulping down? What are you consuming at such a rate that it's not actually really nourishing you anymore? And this could be anything, okay? I'm not necessarily talking about food. It could be anything. It could be Netflix. It could be YouTube. It could be Facebook. It could be shopping online. It could be, there has been times when I've been addicted to not being at home. I was trying to escape a shitty home situation, so I would make sure I was out a lot with my friends. I would do unreasonable stuff, like really, to me, looking back now, I go, this is nuts, like I would drive into the city, like to the other side of the city. I live out west, and I'd drive into the city on the other side of the city to go pick up my friend from her work, and then drive all the way to Paralawi just so that I was avoiding home. And then I'd stay out there for an hour and have a cup of coffee, and then I'd come home. And that was just because I was avoiding my grief. So what are you avoiding with whatever you're choosing? That would be my question to you today in relation to this. Okay. All right, Kathleen, we're at 77 for you. Oh boy. This particular poem, whenever it pops up, it makes me crinkle a little bit, because I got told this so many times in so many ways from my spirit team at this time. And for about 5 years, this particular thing kept coming up, and it used to drive me absolutely bonkers. So yes, we have patience, my girl. If he is supposed to be yours, then he will be. You have made the connection over distance already. He loves you with all of his heart, soul, and body. He will do almost anything to talk and be with you. So he has some things he needs to sort. You know this year is about patience. There is another instance, another lesson. Breathe. Feel the love and warmth, because it is true. Trust it. Trust in yourself. Trust in what has been said before is true. So, Kathleen, where are you not choosing patience? Where are you choosing to get really impatient, whether it be in your work, whether it be in a relationship, whether it like romantically, whether it be with your family? Where are you choosing to be incredibly impatient when just a little bit more space is required. And this is a poem that is very interesting when it pops up, because it's one of the last things that we actually wish to hear, is to be told to be patient when we're potent creators. And then it's like, but no, now you have to be patient. It's like, but so I would say go out, nurture yourself, do something fun for you, and just give whatever it is that you're being very impatient about some space to come into your world. Because the thing is, when we get too tight about something, we will push it away. All right, so just open stuff up. That's why like really yummy relationships pop up when we're not looking for them, when we're focused on something else, when we're focused on just being us and having fun for us. That's when a relationship will pop up. That's why. Okay. Holly. You got 7. You chose a 7. Okay. Hi, Christian. Hi, Kristen. If you wish to have a poem reading, pick a number between 1 and 88, honey. We can slide you in there. So happy to hear that I'm having people coming in from Norway, of all places. That's super cool. How did I get so lucky? All right. So, Holly, with your number 7, I got loneliness is. Loneliness is something I can't quite explain. It can hurt, make me feel out of it. It's a heavy feeling which is inside my body. It's a part of my mind, but it's released through my heart. I go all silent. I can't explain why. I don't want to be alone again. Holly, breathe. Okay. And also I'm getting to expand out. And if you can, connect in with Mother Nature. Okay, go spend some time in Mother Nature if you can. Maybe, I can't remember where you are in the world, but if you can, go and maybe spend some time at like a botanic gardens or the beach or something like that. Botanic gardens would be better, because then you've got that chance to be around like all that beautiful oxygen. Like during the week, I got to go out to Morialta, and it was just so lovely, absolutely so lovely to be up in the forest around all of that lovely oxygen and the water running. And like we went out on a day that was a little bit just threatening to be drizzly, and it was the best because we were like the only people there pretty much. There was very few people there, and it was just incredible. So it's time again to heal this hurt. Okay, hi KJ, and hi Ange. So yeah, Holly, we've got to do some work with your heart, honey. Got to do some work, okay? And allow that grief to start to move, because it's really starting to penetrate, and I can feeling it starting to come up into the throat area. So again, for you, I would say go off, if you like, at the very bare minimum, go off and go out into nature and let Mother Earth heal you a little. But also go get some body work done. Go see someone who deals with grief for you too, and hurt, heartache, betrayal. I'm getting at that. Oh, that's a betrayal. There's a lot more energy on that one. So you may have heard me talking about the bars. I don't know if you know about the access bars. If you've had any experience with them, they would be really useful for you right now. See if you can find somebody to do that in your area. And if you require me to give you some hints and tips on who to go to in your area, then let me know. Send me a PM later, okay? And in the meantime, be kind and nourishing to you, okay? And remember, you're not lonely. Your team is always, 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 always around you, okay? All right. Done, done, done. All right. Yay, Melinda. 36, she says. 36. The reason why I love this is it's you guys picking. It's not me. Okay. Melinda, we got enduringly etched. On this day, which is oh so special, I am thinking of you. I wonder how you are and where you've been. You were a fluctuating factor in my life, but that was before when your mind was elsewhere. Now that you're back, hopefully to stay, I'm welcoming you with open arms into my life, heart, and world. So this is about you. This isn't about a lover. This isn't about a job. This is about you. And remembering that you've been a little bit fluctuating with your connection, your full connection with you. And this poem is saying, hey, welcome. Nice to have you back. We love having you here. Thank you. We enjoy having you back. We enjoy having the fun and light and beautiful and amazing Melinda back together. Let's do more of that, please. Okay? So that's really what this one I'm getting is about for you. So keep being yummy and delicious and kind and nurturing and fun, you know. And okay, we're up to Kristen. Yeah, we got Melbourne in the house. Nice. Aw, you're welcome, Holly. You're welcome. Just catching up with some of these comments. For those of you who have just popped on and not received a poem reading yet, and you haven't popped through a little donation, because I will be probably scooting off in a little bit after I prove that I'm once again not a robot. Oh, goodness. I think that was correct. I can tell when I do it right because it goes through the first time. Yeah, awesome. Alrighty. So yes, if you have not, some of you new bubbies that are coming, Ange, for example, and KJ. Thank you so much for joining me. If you'd like me to do a little baby reading for you, just pick a number between 1 and 88. The first number that pops into your head, and then pop that in the chat below. Okay. Kristen. Yeah, that's beautiful. Thank you, honey. That's okay. Just pick a number. There you go. Well done. So, Kristen, grandmothers. So, you got some family stuff happening, huh? Grandmothers are the role models for their grandchildren. They teach the children their knowledge and skills. They don't have to be the ones to discipline the children, but they have the job of giving lots of love. The things which they teach their grandchildren will stay with them always, from that little piece of advice to how to lick a plate in style. The wonderful thing about grandmothers is that they can be so different. One might stay home and bake, while another might be out running a marathon. But both love their grandchildren just as much. The love from one grandmother can never be compared, as it is very unique and will remain that way forever. Oh, Kristen, I'm just like that. There's obviously some family stuff coming up for you at the moment, whether that be maybe someone in the family, a grandmother or a grandparent, is maybe not doing so well. And I would say just nourish them, nurture them, and if it is somebody who's already passed over, perhaps they're just calling out to you to say, hi, we love you, keep being you and being awesome and following your heart. We know that we taught you well. It was sort of the other thing that's coming through there. So that was fun. I haven't read that poem for a really, 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 really long time. So thank you for bringing that back through. All right. Ange, the lovely Ange. Thank you for coming on. So, just for those of you who don't know, because I see there's a few new names. So this poetry book, I'll give you a little bit of history on it. So I've been writing poems and poetry. I used to write little stories back in primary school, and it never really sat with anybody. The teachers never really got my story writing, but I used to do, and then when I got into high school, that was when I really started to sort of explore my poetry side, because, you know, it was a really great way of me expressing my emotions and what I was aware of and all of that sort of stuff. So I went through many years, over 25 years of my life, writing my poetry, and nobody really ever got to see it unless I did it a specific poem for someone for like a birthday or something like that. And I went off to a set of classes, and one of the questions that we got asked to ask of ourselves was, what have we already created? And feel free to use this question for your own stuff. What have we already created that we've totally disregarded because we've already created it? So what that does is what it's sort of bringing up is the fact that so often we, as very fast creative beings, will put all our time and energy into a creation and go, okay, cool, that's done, and then we'll forget about it. And yet it's not actually done yet. It's asking to get out into the world. It's asking to be seen by others. It's asking to be an inspiration to others. It's asking to be lots of different things. And maybe it's empowering others, or, you know, healing others, or whatever. But we have disregarded it because we've done the creation work. We're good. It's worked for us. So I came back from those classes and I was asking that question, and my team were telling me poetry, and I said, no, not happening. Because it was like my diary. And then I went off to work, and I was living in a little cottage all by myself, and I'd had no visitors, and I came home from work and I found my poetry book, which I'd handwritten all my poems in, on the floor when I came home from work. And I said, no, put the book back in the bookshelf. Carried on asking the question. 2 days later, it was halfway out of the bookshelf, and I was like, oh, fine. So I started writing them up, And I got it all done. It was quite the journey, actually, because I was having a lot of moments of going back in my history and doing a lot of processing and healing of those times that are all in this book. And so it was a very cathartic process for me to go through as well. And I then I released the book, and I was just so stoked. It was just before my birthday that it got released, and I was like all excited and nervous and all the rest of it. And one of my beautiful friends popped up. So it's called The Gratitude, the Space Between Seconds. You can find it on Amazon. It's on, you can get to the links through my website. And so when I was creating it, by this stage, I'd sort of just let go. I'd given into the process. And when I got to doing the title page, well, not the title, the table of contents, I said to the book, okay, do you wish to have a table of contents? And it said, yes, but no. I said, okay, do you wish to have something like a table of contents? It said, yes. And I said, okay, cool. Do you wish it to be at the front? No. Okay, so do you wish it to be at the back? Yes. And so I was like, okay, cool. And what it ended up being called is a creation key. So then I was invited to go onto a podcast, which unfortunately doesn't exist anymore. It's called Writers on Air. And it was a lovely lady Carol Glover, who interviewed me for her show. And she'd read the entire book. She loved it. She said she doesn't normally like poetry books, but she really enjoyed this one. And then she said, oh, did you want to read a couple of them out? And I said, sure. So I said, oh, look. And I flicked to the back of the book, and I was just like, look, pick the first number that pops into your head between 1 and 88. And so she did, and I read it out. And she's like, oh, my God, that's exactly where I'm at right now. And I was like, oh, well, that's kind of nice, isn't it? Carried on doing our show. She did another one, and I asked her again for another number, and she picked the one about Twinkle, which was my cat who passed away. Or she actually had to be put down. And she goes, oh, my God, my pet had to be put down this week too. I was like, oh, well, that's a bit freaky, isn't it? And pretty much every single poem that anybody has ever chosen out of this book, when I ask somebody to choose the first number that pops into your head, not your favorite number, it will be spot on. And it has freaked some people out, because these and people that do not know me from a bar of soap, I've done it for them at like expos and things, and I was, whoa, that's freaky. So yeah, gratitude, the space between seconds. It's that even that title was intuitively brought through from a conversation I was having with somebody, and we were talking about gratitude. And I'm getting there, and we were talking about gratitude, and this friend says to me, so what does gratitude mean to you? And I just said, truly, it's the space between seconds. And it was just like so expansive that I went, that's the name of the book. I had to write it down. Boom, done. Okay. Holly, just send me a PM first so that I remember to PM you back. Oh, that'll be the easiest way. All right. So that's the story of the book. 28. And if I knew now that I'd be doing my readings in such a fashion, I would have put the number of the poem up here. That would have been really helpful. Okay, so we've got silver linings. Oh, to the twists and turns of life. As joyous or troublesome as they may be, it makes for interesting days. Will there ever be a day when everything goes smoothly? That is unlikely. But to all the dreary days that I've had, there is always something else to look forward to. May it be a meeting of someone new or an event, there is an element of suspense, excitement, and wonder. So, and that's a really exciting poem for you. And I would just like to say it's kind of like a poem of reminding you that no matter what's happening in your life, no matter where you're at right now, just remember there's always something good. There's always a silver lining to everything that you are going through. Okay? So, just going to quickly grab this and chuck it over here while I'm thinking about it. Here we go. Yeah, just remember that there is always a silver lining. So if you wish to challenge this point of view, I'd like you to go back over your life and just think of a time, maybe not too recent, maybe one that you've done a lot of work on already, and a time where things seem to be really, 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 really bad. Okay? And then I would like you to have a look at that from the perspective that you are now. And when you do that, it's like you can see the possibilities that have been created from that time. Maybe you learned something or remembered something about yourself. Maybe it built up some, strengthen your boundaries around something. Maybe it created a space or a pressure point where it was like it bubbled up or triggered you to be able to go ahead and get something healed. Perhaps it did something that would make you realize or show you some red flags that helped you to remove some people or some aspects in your life that were maybe you were making allowances for before. There's always going to be some silver linings to every situation that you've been through. So I'll give you a little example of that. My last long-term relationship that I had started out okay. There was a few red flags at the beginning, but again, I completely ignored them because I'd already made a decision that I was going to be moving in with this person. We'd signed the lease, we'd paid the deposit, we'd paid the 6 weeks, etc. And I was already in the house, and because I'd moved in a couple of days before he had, and we rocked up to his place, and none of his stuff was packed really, except for a suitcase that his mum had done for him. And this should have been my first red flag, but all I could see was, okay, well, obviously he's just run out of time, and I made excuses. And that was pretty much the entire relationship, was me making excuses for his poor behavior. So by the end of it, which was 3.5 years of relationship, I was so done and I was so angry. And at the time, I couldn't quite see why I had chosen that relationship. But what it did is it pushed me, it gave me that pressure point to go, I require to know why I'm choosing narcissism in my life. I require to know why I'm bringing that into my world. I am so fucking done with it. And I made a demand in my world to stop. And what I had chosen before that, before I really got to that point, was I had already done a year's worth of diving into the feminine, diving into pussy work, diving into what being a woman means to me, to rediscovering those aspects of me, because I was so in my masculine that I was really struggling to bring my feminine up. So I made that choice to really bring up that feminine side of me, because she was struggling hardcore. And so I'd already been doing that work for a year, and through a book club that I had created at that time. And we met every fortnight, And I had 2 calls that I did because it was an online book club. I did a call in the morning and a call in the evening so that I could bring in people from here in Australia and New Zealand. And in the evening time, I would get the English people and the people in the UK and stuff like that. And so it was a very intense year to start off with. Then I reached this point with a narcissistic partner, and I just went, enough's enough. I'm done with this. And I dove into a course that was an 8-week intensive course called How to Manifest Your Soulmate. And it was all about getting rid of the blocks and of the blocks around narcissistic partners, but more than that, it was actually about healing the blocks and beliefs I had within myself. It wasn't about making them wrong for who they be. It was actually more about forgiving me and letting go of the energies around that. So a lot of those tools I have integrated into my healing business now because I found them so useful. And it's a big process. It can be quite a big process. It can be quite intense. And for those who are willing to go through that, it's a pretty awesome time. It's pretty cool. So yeah, this is what I'm saying about silver linings. If I hadn't had that relationship, if I hadn't been triggered so much, I don't know that I would have identified where I was choosing to be narcissistic in my life. Because of course, the people that come into your life are a reflection of who you are being, the energy that you're putting out there. It's a direct mirror. Okay. So Jenny, I would just ask, where are you bullying others? Or what elements in your life are you bullying? Okay. So I am just going to leave you with that one. I'm not going to ask you to reply in any way, shape, or form. But when I realized that I was attracting a narcissistic partner into my world, I had to look at where was I being a narcissist. And for me, that was really challenging to think about. It's like, no. And then I started just using my awareness. I sort of like went, instead of resisting and reacting to that thought, I went, okay, well, truth, am I being a narcissist with other people? And it was like, no. It's like, well, if I'm not being a narcissist with other people, how am I being a narcissist? And it was like, truth, am I being a narcissist with my business? Yes. And then it was like, truth, am I being a narcissist with my money? And it was a yes. So that's when I realized I had to do some healing work with my business and with my money flows, my money, wealth, and abundance flows. Because they were severely abused at that time, and it wasn't kind. It wasn't nice. And I really had to, get brutally honest with myself as to how I was choosing to be in the world and what was actually truly going to work for me moving forward and what wasn't. So, yes. Alrighty. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, it says, Holly, thank you for putting the PM through, honey. I appreciate that. I'll reply to that in a little bit. With myself, I am a bully. Yeah. And look for those ways that you might be also maybe being a bully with other elements in your life. Okay. Where you're Yes, perfect. Thank you, Holly. Love it. Absolutely love it. Just don't message me at midnight. I won't answer anyway. I have my phone on silent for that very reason. I have friends who are overseas, especially in Canada, and they message me at all hours. It's just like, I don't care. I just put my phone on silent. But just be aware that if I don't answer, it's probably because it's on silent. See, this is called boundary. This is a very good thing to have. But yes, and having somebody to guide you through those moments is often quite helpful, of uncovering all of those lovely 10, 15 Australia. Okay, so where does that put you? That puts you Melbourne time. I'm in Adelaide, so it's only 9:45 here. So yeah, consciousness is a very interesting journey, definitely, and I'm grateful that I've got a really great support team around me to be able to help me process. I think Melbourne and Sydney's on the same time zone right now. Hey, Tasmania, lovely. Tassie, does Tassie work on Sydney time too, huh? Oh, I didn't know that. I would have thought it would be nearly in New Zealand time. Cheeky. All right. Well, I think I've maybe rambled for long enough. What do you guys think? Is there anything else that you guys would like to chat about before I run away and go and message Holly? So exciting. Is uncovering your triggers shadow work? Absolutely. Yeah, I have a interesting point of view around shadow work, in that a lot of people get, and I've got some very dear friends that talk about going into, doing shadow work, but they seem to get really wrapped up in it. Like they let it consume them, absolutely consume them for a period of time. And it's like, what if it doesn't need to be or require to be that intense? To me, it's like, and maybe it's just because my journey is different, right? I look at that and I go, yes, there's moments where we have those big, the high highs and the low lows. But what I've discovered over my years of doing this beautiful consciousness journey is that when those trigger points come up, if you're willing to actually go through, process, deal with them kind of roughly at the same time that they come up, those high highs and the low lows are a lot less. They become just like little blips. So it's like, to me, the shadow work doesn't have to be that really hugely intense process. It can be. But for me, that shadow work as such, for me, will quite often happen over just one session. So if I'm having a healing swap with a friend and we go through and we process something, there's one of my beautiful friends from New Zealand, and we do a once a month catch up. And during that time, if either of us have got some stuff coming up, we'll just process each other out, verbally process each other. And it's a beautiful exchange of energies. And I also get to catch up with my friend, and, it's all fun. And she's someone who was on that goddess sort of feminine journey with me. That goes back like, oh goodness, that started in 2020. So it's 2.5 years that journey began. So yeah, yes, it's shadow work, but at the same time, it's really only shadow work if you actually deal with it. Make sense? Can be. It can be. Fighting or denying our shadows is painful, can be painful. but processing is cathartic. So, for example, some people, when they are fighting or denying the shadows or their trigger points, it's more because they're just super disconnected as well. And one of the interesting ways to discover that is if you know the muscle testing and the sway technique, and if their yes and their no is back to front, you know that they're disconnected. And that's always fun process, trying, bringing that back around. There was one of my beautiful friends who was like that, and it turned out because part of them was on the other side of the planet. For some interesting reason, at some point in their lives, they'd chosen to disconnect with themselves in such a big dynamic way through, some trauma and stuff that had happened in their lives. So bringing that part back in meant that they then had full access to all of them again, and their awareness centers were then humming, and then their business started to take off, and then their money flows started to happen, and a lot of things got shook up in their world. And it's a beautiful thing once you're actually really fully connected to yourself and all the aspects of you. So again, in my private sessions, I do a connection exercise where we bring those parts and pieces back through and do some flow work with them. And it's a lovely thing. It really, truly is. And it's a process that I've created myself. And it's something that I really enjoy bringing in and allowing people to see the difference that makes in their world. All right, my beautiful friends, I could probably talk about consciousness forever. I hope that you all have a beautiful, beautiful weekend, whatever you're choosing to do. And most excellent things are happening. We've got next week, we have the beautiful Tracy Hillier on my Tasty Tuesdays show. That's at 7:00 Adelaide time. And that one, she is amazing. She's an angelic healer. She is a Reiki master. She's a masseuse. She's got some incredible stories from healings and spiritual work that she's done in her lifetime. So I'm looking forward to having a chat with her on Tuesday. Of course, I will be back here on Friday. And the other exciting piece of news that I have is that I have finally released, or me and a group of us have finally released the event in Adelaide called the Honouring You Retreat in November. And it's a very select 8 women that will be coming on this journey with us. And it's all about finding and honouring you in amongst everything that is to do with being a woman in this world. That's probably the easiest and simplest way I can put that. So that, of course, is up on my website as well. It's on Crafting Possibilities, the Honouring You Retreat. So you'll find that as a tab up on there. And I look forward to talking with you all next week. Have a beautiful, beautiful week, my friends. Whatever you're choosing to do, be bold, be brave, be you. Remember to choose what truly works for you, no matter what. Good night, everybody. Good day. Whatever you're choosing to do in the world. I love you all. Thank you so much for coming and joining and playing with me today. I'll see you next time. Bye.